Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. I hope you're having a wonderful day, and I hope this video has found you well. If not, then I hope you can get as excited as I am when I'm opening these boosters. Today we're going to be opening up a Khans of Tarkir and seeing what fate has in store for us. Now, when I've been doing these videos, I hadn't really given it that much thought, but I've realized that we could be looking at these cards objectively and saying what would be a good draft pick. So this time what I'm going to do when I show off what each card is, I'm not going to talk as much about it, but also talk about what it would be useful like in Limited. Right. Ainak Bondkin, Shatter, Tusk Colossadon, Erase, Taigam Scheming, Rotting Mastodon, Abzan Guard, Temur Banner, Jungle Hollow, interesting. It's a comp, well, let's put it where we can still look at it. Abomination of Gudul, hope that's how that's pronounced. Wonder if they're related to Kudul. Yeah. Dragon Grip, interesting card. Cranial Archive, another interesting card. Mardu Rough Rider, Meandering Tower Shell, and a Swamp. Alright. And the air conditioner kicks in right now. Alright. If this were a deck that I was looking at, I'm pretty sure everybody would say, take the basic land and take this card, whatever it is, and set it aside. It's mine. Whatever. Nobody uses the basic lands. These, however, you do have to keep hold of. And first thing I notice is Meandering Tower Shell is not that great of a rare. In Limited, I mean, 9 toughness, that's fine. Island Walk, that's pretty cool tool. Pretty cool too, but it's going to exile itself when it attacks, and then returns itself, which is interesting. So there is that. It's an odd card. I wonder. There's got to be something to it. 5 mana for 5/9. I get it. That's pretty cool. There's actually this weird black-green thing that's going on in the set that makes me think this is Lorwyn. You know, Tarkir is actually Lorwyn, and Doran the Siege Tower comes from Tarkir or something, because these high toughness cards are amazing. But if I were actually playing this for a draft, I think I'd actually pick... I prefer to go with the lower casting cost because I'm more likely to get them out. But we actually have some morph cards. So, Abzan Guide, 4/4 lifelink for 6. It's Abzan colors. This would influence me a lot. It's 6 mana to get out, but you can morph it for 3, the Grey Ogre, 3 mana for 2/2, and you'd be able to use it. So I would actually consider, I mean, it's a common. This is a really good card. It might actually last around to coming back around to me, and I could draft it later. In which case, I would probably go with the Bondkin, because I'm looking at this as what am I going to get when this comes back around to me. The Jungle Hollow is a good choice. The Ainak Bondkin is a good choice. You're going to start fixing your mana early, and the Meandering Tower Shell just isn't going to do much in this set. I mean, 5 damage every other turn for 5 mana doesn't really work. Granted, it's immune to sorceries half the time. It's just such an odd card. I don't know why it makes you think they're planning something. They're planning something. Okay, so that's what I'm thinking of. Now you can hate draft things. You can play. You could draft the Cranial Archive. You know, Erase again. They really want to get rid of the legendary god cards from Theros. We have exile target enchantment. We have making a player sacrifice an enchantment. They really wanted to make it so that people could deal with enchantments, and they're put it at common level. People pass up those commons though. All right, so Dragon Grip +2/+0 in first strike. Enchant creature. You can play it as though it had flash if you have a creature with power 4 or greater. Or oh gosh, we don't really have any in this pack, except for the Tusk Colossadon and the Meandering Tower Shell. It's worth noting that if you put any enchantment on the Meandering Tower Shell, it will not go with it. The enchantment will fall off when it exiles itself. So, I'm afraid I would actually go with the Bondkin. Yeah. Not that great a pack, honestly. So, yeah. But I do recall saying something about how we would see what fate had in store for us. By that I mean, pack a day has gotten worse. We're actually at 2 packs a day now. So, surprise. We're opening up one of these. Now, we've already looked at this, and this, like I said, this is what I would have drafted, and I'd probably gone for the Abzan guide afterwards. But out of this pack, Ethereal Ambush, Abzan Advantage, there it is. Target player sacrifices an enchantment, bolster 1. Refocus, let's set these aside. Well, we'll put them down here. And Douse in Gloom, Will of the Naga, Tasigar's Cruelty. Mardu Scout, cool little card. Feral Krushok, Lightning Shrieker. Running out of room. If you can put everything over just a little bit more, like that. There we go. Archers of Karsi. I think that's how it's pronounced. Again, I petition that we need to get Mark Rosewater or somebody to just do a podcast and read off every name of every card in the set, so we all have a definitive way of saying, oh, that's definitely how it's pronounced, and then we can make our own ringtones. Bloodfire Enforcers, interesting card. Really works well with a discard strategy. There's a lot of really good cards that you could just discard. So being able to give it First Strike and Trample, 5/2 for 4, pretty good. Honestly, I've seen worse. Temur Sabertooth, excellent card. 4 mana for 4/3, it's in bolt range, but the ability to pull up a creature, this is actually part of an infinite combo with, what is it? The Acolyte from Theros that taps for your devotion to green. You can give it haste, and you can give it haste with Temur Ascendancy. Then you can pull up the Acolyte, play it again for 4 mana, tap it for, if your devotion's high enough, 5 or actually you'd have to get up to 7 mana out of it. But once you do, you can just keep pulling it back up and casting it over and over again, getting infinite green mana. At which point you'd play like a Hydra Broodmaster, and then you'd activate Hydra Broodmaster's ability, putting out all those creatures, and if they are, of course, they will be 4 power or greater, the Temur Ascendancy will actually allow you to draw all those cards in your library and play all those creatures again. Provided you don't have to draw a bunch of cards, you can then swing out with all of them for a game. And if you do something like that, be sure to put in that Wild Slash card that stops damage from being prevented, because you do not have to deal with fog. Alright, Mind Scour Dragon, and we got ourselves a Temporal Trespass. I've heard good things of this card. 11 mana to take an extra turn. That's a lot. It does have Delve. Works really, really well with Howl of the Horde. That means if you have enough cards in your graveyard, and you might, if you play the strategy to fill your graveyard up, maybe not too many Delve cards, you could cast Howl of the Horde, and then for 3 blue mana and Delve 8, take 3 turns, which in most matches should be enough to win the game. 3 turns, that gives you enough time. You should be able to do a thing. Unless your opponent has something out that's actually really, really locking you down, that should be enough to take victory. So yeah, interesting pack, honestly. I don't know how much Temporal Trespass is going for. I don't know if I could really build a deck. Honestly, if I'm going to take extra turns, I'd rather play Sage of Hours. Now, if we were drafting, I would actually consider playing this. We have 4 blue cards in this pack. Odds are we're going to get another one of them back. The Mind Scour Dragon would be good to get back. Even Refocus. Like I said before, you're paying 2 mana, you get the card immediately back by drawing a new card. To untap a target creature, it means you got something to block, which means you have potentially the ability to kill something that's attacked. Will of the Naga, being able to lock something down. I mean, it's 6 mana and Delve, but you know, there are actually some very interesting things you can do. We have Ethereal Ambush, is technically a blue card as well. For Temur, we've actually got some interesting choices. Sabertooth, for Sultai, we've got some interesting choices. Yeah, we've actually got some creature removal. Yeah, this would have been an interesting pack to have drafted. You would have taken the Trespass, hoped to have gotten the Sabertooth, Mind Scour Dragon, or maybe get the Thornwood Falls. Then as it comes back again, I think it should. No, you should get just 2 cards out of this. But depending, some groups like to do 4 and 4, like have 8 players for a tournament at minimum. Do 4 at one table, 4 at the other, and that really drastically increases the number of cards you get to see. Like you'll almost get to see 4 rotations. At least you'll get to see 3 rotations. But yeah, this actually gives you a lot of good options. So, Temporal Trespass, very good card. Works very well in combo. Obviously, any card that delves means you are paying. You definitely need other cards to really get it to work. 11 mana is a lot. But this was an interesting couple of packs. I hope you enjoyed. Hope you weren't as disappointed as I was. But yeah, and I hope your day is going great. Hope the rest of your week goes well. I'll see you on Friday, and I'll be sure to upload another game from my Tuesday night playing at the local game shop. So I hope you look forward to that. I know Shuyan definitely defeated my Tuk Tuk for that first game, but I think you'll be pleasantly surprised with game 2. Take care, everybody.